Vanakkam and welcome to the South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanan, and as always I shall bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. The first story, which is coming up on your screens: Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin stokes Tamil sentiment, calls for keeping Tamil names for the kids. That's our top story. Udhayanidhi stokes Tamil sentiment. He is at it yet again. That is what many are saying. To time and again stoke Tamil sentiment is fair game in politics, undoubtedly. But to only stoke Tamil sentiment by raising the bogey of Hindi imposition, many say has been done and dusted. But then there is a backgrounder to this. And the following bite, which I am going to play by Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, there is a context in it. There are contexts to the story, but half of it is the context that I am now going to speak. This is the bite that he made in Dindigul. Listen in, and it's a precursor to the controversy that he has raised about Tamil hegemony. Listen in, and I come back to the debate.
I request the newlyweds to come up with a beautiful Tamil name for their child, because many are attempting to impose Hindi in Tamil Nadu. They couldn't do it directly, that's why they are omitting a few words from the Tamil Thai Vartha. They are trying to impose Hindi via the new education policy, but they are failing. Already someone tried to change the name of the state from Tamil Nadu. But because all across the state raised objections, he apologized. Now some are talking about omitting the word Dravidam from Tamil Thai Vartha. Until the last cadre of DMK is alive, until the last Tamilian is alive, none can even touch Tamil Nadu and Dravidam. Tamil Nadu will never accept Hindi imposition.
The above bite was in response to what occurred a couple of days ago at the Hindi month conclusion ceremony, which was clubbed with a function to mark the golden jubilee of Chennai Doordarshan. A line in Tamil which was apparently omitted and which translates to the greatest nation down south in the Dravidian lands. This was, like I said, apparently inadvertently missed out by the chorus or the troupe which was singing it, and that became a bone of contention yet again between the DMK and the Raj Bhavan about a deliberate attempt to silence the word Dravida. That seems to have given Udhayanidhi Stalin enough ammo to reiterate the Tamil identity, and while highlighting how Hindi was being imposed through several ways like the national education policy, he went on to suggest that the newlyweds in Tamil Nadu should choose traditional Tamil names for their children as one reason to curtail the imposition of Hindi in the state. Udhayanidhi also added how attempts were made in the past to change the state's name from Tamil Nadu and how it was aborted due to public objections, and how now some are talking about removing the word Dravidam from the state song. Udhayanidhi Stalin also spoke about his past statement on eradicating Sanatana Dharma, but was firm in sticking to what he said despite the court's intervention, adding that as the grandson of Kalaignar, he shall not apologize for his statement. Let me play out Udhayanidhi Stalin's bite yet again, and then we shall ask you the question.
I request the newlyweds to come up with a beautiful Tamil name for their child, because many are attempting to impose Hindi in Tamil Nadu. They couldn't do it directly, that's why they are omitting a few words from the Tamil Thai Vartha. They are trying to impose Hindi via the new education policy, but they are failing. Already someone tried to change the name of the state from Tamil Nadu. But because all across the state raised objections, he apologized. Now some are talking about omitting the word Dravidam from Tamil Thai Vartha. Until the last cadre of DMK is alive, until the last Tamilian is alive, none can even touch Tamil Nadu and Dravidam. Tamil Nadu will never accept Hindi imposition.
Is this the usual DMK rhetoric, or is it a carefully constructed statement aimed at 2026? Let's debate. Let me welcome the experts. Salem Udhayanidhi, spokesperson for the DMK, is with us, and also Suresh Kochatil, who is a senior political analyst, is with us. Very warm welcome to both of you. Udhayanidhi, let me come to you first. Your name is also not Tamil name. Udhayanidhi, is it? It's Sanskrit.
Anyways, some certain things I don't have hold over.
Yeah.
But leave all that. He only said, I request people to consider having, the newlyweds to have the name of the children in Tamil. I request to consider. What does it mean? I request to consider. I don't think why anything has to be looked onto.
But
this.
he also added, if you listen to the bite, Dharanidharan, I am not taking something out cherry picking to create a big thing. I am a Tamil. Let's not forget. There are great Tamil names like Malar and Kanimuri. We've all grown up with names like that. So what if my name is not Tamil name? Doesn't matter. Like you said, I didn't have any control over it. But he also added to the imposition of Hindi. I am very amazed that the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu keeps raising the bogey of imposition, and he's said it in the past. His father, the Honorable Chief Minister, Muka Stalin, has said in the past, we are not against Hindi, we are against the imposition of Hindi. Let us take Mr. Udhayanidhi's name for instance. I can turn around and say, is your name Tamil name? Udayanidhi. His grandfather, Karunanidhi. These are all Sanskrit names. And where did Stalin come from? Stalin's name came from Joseph Stalin. Apparently, Mr. Stalin was born 4 days before or after, and Kalaignar was at a condolence meeting and he said, I'm going to name my child Stalin. So, you have to look inward sometimes instead of, going on and on about this. So, all I'm saying is Hindi imposition, fine. Tamil Thai, the song, fine, it was, and they apologized, Raj Bhavan apologized. Don't you think there is a bit of a hypocrisy going over the top about this? Name them Tamil, give them Tamil names. I mean, come on, I am the parent. Like, you didn't have control over.
I think you're reading too much. As I again said, I have to reiterate. He only said it was only a suggestion. I request to consider. That's all. I don't think why things have been blown out of the proportion. See, the whole crisis on this matter was done by the governor. He went there. The Dravidan was missing in the Tamil Thai Valtu, right? But why didn't you make it an issue? Okay, it could have been an one-off incident, right? It could have been,
sure.
They didn't notice it. The fact of the matter is, at least this governor for the last 2 years has given more than 24 interviews saying Dravidam does not exist. So it depends on again who. This is the first time it's happening. No, he's been continuously doing it. And again, what did he speak then? He went there and spoke that there's a clear attempt to divide India. The Tamil Nadu has been kept away from India. People in Tamil Nadu are not able to properly integrate with India. I think it's completely, all this is a wrong statement for simple reason. I have data to say that there are 1 million people migrating into Tamil Nadu from northern states. Highest inflow of migrants comes into Tamil Nadu, which means we are clearly integrated. Ex-servicemen, highest number of Tamil Nadu ranks the highest, one of the highest when it comes to number of ex-servicemen and number of men serving the army. So it means we are patriotic. All we are saying is, don't impose Hindi. And I'll give you an example how is the Hindi being imposed.
Yes.
Example number one, right? Recently the food agency of the union government said, in the milk, in curd packets, it should not be mentioned dahi should be mentioned. That we consider as imposition. The Kendriya Vidyalaya schools in Tamil Nadu do not have Tamil teachers. It was replied by the union government to a question asked by Tiruchi Shiva, the MP, right? And they said, oh, there were no takers. How can there be no takers? When you teach Sanskrit, when you teach Hindi, when you teach English, 3 languages are taught in Kendriya Vidyalaya schools in Tamil Nadu, but there are no Tamil teachers. This we have a problem. We have a problem that union government exams are not held in Tamil.
Are you seeing ghosts where there are none? Selam Dharanidharan, are you seeing ghosts where there are none? No, you went on about, I don't hold a brief for Mr. Governor Ravi, but then Stalin turned around and called him an Aryan. That is also a caste slur. Just because I can say Ra and someone can't say Ra, I will not turn around and say anything to them, and I don't expect anyone to say anything like that. Maybe you can't. No, I'm sorry. I think you are seeing too many ghosts. No, I'm sorry. Why did he call him an Aryan? Why should you call anyone an Aryan? What is this Aryan Dravidian argument? I don't. Tell me. Suresh Kochatil, come into this debate. I understand.
10 seconds.
Please go ahead. Yes, Dharanidharan.
The governor says Aryan is just a linguistic term. He doesn't say it's a racist term, right? This is from governor has been telling this for the last 2 years. Now when we called him Aryan, he says we are making racist mark. So governor itself is here inconsistent, which is why we are saying he's doing politics.
Even if I take that X is going back on his statement, why should the chief minister, he's the chief minister, to say, oh, you did this, you are an Aryan. At least he can be circumspect. Suresh Kochatil, come in here and tell me, I am also against imposition of anything. I am sure you are also. Although I am against bans, I don't know whether you are. But I understand, Suresh, let me just add, if you force me to speak in Hindi, I will not. Like someone says, आपको हिंदी भी नहीं आती है, पर ये तो राष्ट्र भाषा, I said नहीं है. नहीं है राष्ट्रभाषा। मैं नहीं बोलूँगी हिंदी में, मैं अंग्रेज़ी में बात करूँगी आपसे, नहीं तो आप बोल लीजिए मेरी भाषा। And that's unfair because I speak several Indian languages. I'm not talking about myself. I'm against, but then this kind of, all the time the bogey. See where it started. The Tamil, that song, that state song, Dravidam was, they said, we are very sorry, it was missed out and we apologize. Raj Bhavan then issues a statement saying it was inadvertently done. It's a mistake, shouldn't have happened, happened. Immediately you jump into it and you say, oh, it's Hindi imposition, Tamil, should kids, parents, couples should name their children in Tamil, give them Tamil names. What goes on? Look at their own names. I mean, Udhayanidhi Stalin has a beautiful daughter. She's called Tanmaya. Is that a Tamil name? His mother is Durga. Is that a Tamil name?
That's a problem, Sudha. In their own house, they have different kind of rules. Tell me, in Stalin's school, family school, don't they teach Hindi? They teach Hindi there. Now, the point is very simple. How is it that only one state seems to have this Hindi imposition problem? Of course, Karnataka also keeps speaking in it, but it's mostly to do with political stuff. Let us remember that the Jammu Kashmir Article 370 started with the same things. Separate flag, separate song, separate prime minister, all these things. How come Kerala? I mean, now unfortunately, your coordinators told me not to mention any other state apart from Tamil Nadu in this debate.
Please go ahead, Suresh.
But I'm constrained to mention a couple of states. One is the state where I originally come from, Kerala. We never see any imposition problem in Kerala. We never see that. Kerala today is swamped by North Indians, workers, I mean. Bengalis, Assamese, Odias, you have everything. To a certain extent that Keralites now speak Hindi more than they speak Malayalam because they have to deal with these people on a day in and day out basis.
Right.
And to credit of those workers, they have also learned smattering of Malayalam here and there.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep meeting them. You go to a petrol bunk, you see them. You go to a restaurant, you see them. You see the shop, you see them. You see them in the supermarkets. They are there everywhere. I mean, people can travel from anywhere to anywhere. Now imagine, Sudha, hypothetical situation. I'm just saying a hypothetical. Tomorrow, BJP picks up this anti-Hindi bogey and takes it to Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh and says, look, Congress's ally doesn't want your language to be spoken. Imagine a campaign like that. I mean, we all spoke about Haryana, Haryana, Haryana. Remember, small things like this can twist an entire election because you are trying to basically belittle Uttar Pradesh. They're already doing it saying Uttar Pradesh is getting more money, so Uttar Pradesh should not get. So tomorrow, suppose BJP turns it around the head and says, this is exactly what I'm trying to say. Why is it Kerala saying, no, you should put Malayalam names? Okay, Suresh is not a Malayali name. It comes from Sanskrit. Okay, I mean, most of our words, most of our names come from Sanskrit. I mean, that is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
My daughter's name Arunima, which basically is Aruni, which comes from the early morning rising of the sun.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but the thing is that, Suresh, about getting the lion's share, the South, I mean, I'm all for, but that's another conversation. I've had debates on that. But all I'm saying is raising this bogey unnecessarily when you're talking about, you talk about the state song, but in everything you will bring Hindi imposition. Then the man should just change his name, no? Like his son's name is Inba, which is a Tamil word. He should just change it. Why keep it as Udhayanidhi Stalin if he's so strong about names? I'm taking a break right now. And when I come back, I'll keep this debate alive. This is a debate on Udhayanidhi Stalin stoking Tamil sentiment. Yet again, many would say. See you on the other side.
A warrior so brave he'll forever be hailed. Maharashtra is a hit.
Maharashtra tourism.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
That's the story that we are tracking. Our top story, Udhayanidhi Stalin, that's the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, stokes the Tamil sentiment, and many would say yet again. Salem Dharnidharan, spokesperson for the DMK, is with us, as also Suresh Kochatil, who is a political analyst. Let me come to Salem Dharnidharan. Dharnidharan, he also said he shall not apologize for the Sanatana Dharma statement. He says, I am the grandson of Kalaignar. Now, I don't understand what is Kalaignar got to do with his statement, because the Honorable Court, I remember the Supreme Court in March of 2024 reminded Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin that you cannot possibly be saying all this because you are not a layman. You are a at that time he was a minister. You are a senior minister in Tamil Nadu cabinet. Be very careful of what you say. You cannot just abuse your powers to do that. And of course the case was shifted out and we know all the history. But when Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin says that he shall not apologize, there is, a way, he's very blasé about it. As Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, don't you think that he should at least show, he may not comment on it, but not say that I will not apologize, because that is in one way cocking a snook at the Honorable Court, Dharnidharan?
No, firstly and foremost, I'd like to rebut, okay? So what I would like to say is that, see, when he spoke about Hindi being taught in few schools, in fact, Hindi has always been taught in schools in Tamil Nadu. In fact, when even I was in school, there was an option. People can choose between Tamil, Hindi, French, and even German, depending on school, or even Telugu and Malayalam. But even the Chief Minister has reiterated this, right? Tamil Nadu has the highest number of students clearing the Hindi exams. The series of exams you have about 3 lakh, which is higher than every other state in South India. In Kerala, it's about 10,000. But what we are against is imposition through NEP, where you say that we have to learn 3 languages here, but in UP they learn only 1 language. You celebrate Hindi Divas here, in UP you don't celebrate. But here there is no national language, so all languages are the same. So why one language is given more importance in Tamil Nadu is what we are saying, right? We have never having any problem with Hindi. We appreciate every language, right? We don't, Tamil Nadu is Mandare Vale Vekim Bhumi in Tamil, which says everyone are welcome here, which is why Tamil Nadu has the highest migrant inflow. And I have to rebut, there is problem in West Bengal because of Hindi imposition. There is problem in Maharashtra because of migration. There is problem even in Nagaland, Karnataka, and one person can't be representative for the entire state of Kerala. My friends in Kerala say it's a problem that they feel that there is imposition. We are not against anyone learning Hindi. I speak Hindi, but because I had to go to Bhopal, then I learned. But what is the problem? Is it imposing one language, right? Are you imposing Tamil or Malayalam in Uttar Pradesh or in Madhya Pradesh? No, right? So that is the simple problem here. We are digressing from the issue. We have to see the matter like this. All Indian languages are equal. There is no one language that has superiority. Hindi is only mother tongue for only 25% of the people, only 25%. And we do not have government spending on Hindi in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar or in Madhya Pradesh where Hindi is spoken. All right. Even we had a lot of dialects which now disappeared. Right? And Hindi as such is a language is only 200 years old. And the script, Devangri and so on and so forth. Right? And when it comes to your Supreme Court, whatever you said, it's an observation, it's not a verdict. Unless a minister, unless a person's representative, he can voice his opinion on matters, and we've clarified time and again. I have clarified on your show itself that we are not against any religion like language, right? We are only against the part in which... Okay,
I've heard you. Dharnidharan, now quickly tell me, what has the state song and the inadvertent, or let's say deliberate attempt to silence the word Dravidam has to do with name your kids, give them Tamil names, beautiful thought, then to say that's Hindi imposition? Connect the dots for me. I'm kind of daft sometimes.
No. See, I think if you look at something as an isolated incident, right, then you shall be right. But these are not isolated incidents. This has been continuously happening, and more so ever since this government has come to power. For example, the Prime Minister may start a speech in the UN in Tamil, but then what does he do? Tamil gets 30 times less money than Sanskrit. Point number one.
You are not telling me what is the connection, Dharnidharan.
And that's what I'm saying, I'm coming there. And the connection is repeatedly this governor is saying there has to be Hindi spoken here, Hindi is not taught to the students. Even in that specific event, let us look, this is an oversight, okay? Dravidam being missed was an oversight, but that is baffling to me because a state event where governor attends, there would have been rehearsal. But time and again, this gentleman has said Dravidam should be omitted. But even when he spoke, right, you could have at least said, oh, I did mention that the entire song was not played, right? Or you could have
Alright.
just given a basic speech. But what did he say? He went there and said, there is an attempt to isolate Tamil Nadu from rest of India. There is
Alright.
secessionist tendency. We will not allow it. This
Yeah.
he
But
went
let
to
me
the identity
also,
of Tamil.
but as an aside, let me
That is the
also,
problem.
Tandai Periyar,
Right? That is
who
the
is
problem here.
most revered for all of us and also has been quoted by Udhayanidhi Stalin. His first name is also Sanskrit, Rama. So, let's not really get very het up about all this. Suresh Kochatil, come in. I mean, Dharnidharan said a whole lot of things. Do you have a response to that, or should I ask you something?
No, I'm
else?
just saying that, why have this entire thing about name, anthem, song? I'm just looking up to see whether the constitution has a provision for a state song. It doesn't have. No state song, no state flag is allowed as per the constitution. It's illegal. Okay. But anyway, if somebody wants to sing a song, nobody's stopping them from singing it. But we don't have it here anyway. In Kerala, Kerala has a song, but it's not a state song, technically speaking. Same with Telangana, same with Andhra. My point is very simple. Why are we bringing the irrelevant things into all this? Why are we saying that UP doesn't have a 3-language policy? It has. CBSE has a 3-language policy everywhere. It is not just in Telangana or in Andhra or in Tamil Nadu. You want to learn it, you learn it. The problem is, why are you raising this bogey again and again and again against Hindi? Because somebody has a Hindi week. That Hindi week has been there from Congress days. Why didn't DMK object then? Railway has a Hindi week going back to, almost in the 60s.
Yeah, Shastri, and from the time of Lal Bahadur Shastri.
So why taking it now? Just because it is Modi on the other end. As long as DMK was a part of the alliance in Delhi, there was no such issue. They never demanded that Hindi should be removed or Hindi should not be taught. Who is imposing Hindi? Is anybody going to a school child and saying you have to learn Hindi? No. The imposition they are speaking of here is in terms of something that the governor says, something somebody says somewhere else. Imposing means you're forcing somebody to use it. As you rightly said at the start of the debate, if somebody demands that you speak in a particular language.
Yes.
Here it is not like that. Here it is like you can speak anything you want. I speak Tamil even though I'm not in Tamil Nadu. I speak Nalla Tamil pesona. Problem hai, but the problem is very simple. That, I learned it because I have that interest to learn. I studied in Chennai for 3 years. So that is why it is there. But that doesn't mean that I don't learn it. Uta Marda, Chennai, that also I know it. And Telugu, I'm very fluent. I can read, right? Which means as an Indian, you pick up languages as you choose. Don't force anybody to say,
I totally agree.
Otherwise,
I totally agree. I completely agree. That is the only way for amalgamation. That is the only way that you learn about other cultures. But then I am asking you a political question. 2026 is right here. A lot of preparations are going on. Do you think it's also an attempt by the DMK to appropriate? Because let's understand one thing, Suresh. AIDMK will not come for such a debate. Vijay Dalapati's party, TVK, will refuse. Any party, the BJP, refuses because it is Tamil. Things will be burnt. If you speak anything which is anti-Tamil, it will be burnt to the ground. So, do you think this is also in a way to appropriate the entire Tamil kind of a, issue by the DMK?
Exactly. There's no doubt. I mean, is there any doubt, Sudha? I think that is the lowest hanging fruit that you have that right now is the language chauvinism. I keep repeating again and again and saying, why don't the other states have an issue except for Karnataka and Tamil Nadu? This issue is not there in the other southern states. You don't have it in Andhra, don't have it in Telangana, you have it in Kerala.
All right.
Why is it that only 1 or 2 states have this issue? Because it is politics. Use that to get votes. That is simple as that. Nothing else beyond it.
So I've completely run out of time. Last word to Dharnidharan. Dharnidharan, quickly tell me in 1 minute that what do you think about all the Tamil-centric programs that Prime Minister Modi has carried out, whether it is Kashi Tamil Sangamam, whether it is, Sengol, all this. What do you have to say? Do you think there is an effort somehow?
Sengol is not representative of the entire Tamil people. We have opposed Sengol. I know the reasons why. But I think rhetoric has to match with action. If at all you want to promote Tamil, then give us money. Tamil in Kendra Vidyalaya schools across India, right? Tamil is the oldest language in India, right? So then teach Tamil across Kendra Vidyalaya schools in India, allocate the highest number of money, as much as money allocate for Sanskrit, then you have done the action, right? But what Mr. Suresh did, I also agree. I went to study in Bhopal for 4 years, haven't you?
If it is the oldest language and I don't get a job, why should I learn it? I will learn a language so that it gets me a job. It's not an academic interest. I speak Bengali fluently, but I'm not getting a job with the Bengali channel. I can't. So the point of the matter is teach everywhere. Why should I learn Tamil, sir?
No, listen. You have hit the nail. You hit the right point. That's what I'm saying. Even the IT jobs, right, or financial jobs in Noida, in Uttar Pradesh, in Gurgaon, Haryana, is in English, not in Hindi. Which is why I'm saying let everyone learn English in their respective state. Let them read the regional language, and then, if at all they have to learn any other language, people are welcome to learn.
I agree. I agree. Let's all learn. Right? Let's all learn English. But maybe let's stop this.
See, that's what we're doing in European Union.
Let's stop the Tamil hegemony kind of an argument, and the parents will name their children according to what their choice is and not what by Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin does. Because then he should change his own name. He should change his honorable mother's name, his grandfather's name, his daughter's name, etc., etc. Don't advise people. People are very wise to name their children as they deem fit. One of the superstars, biggest superstars in India, has a Sanskritized name. That doesn't make him any less of a superstar. Thank you very much, Selam Dharnidhar, and also Suresh Kochtil for joining us on this debate that we started. And the next story is heavy rain exposes the pothole menace in Bengaluru. Video of a differently abled woman falling due to a pothole on a flooded street sparks outrage. This is a shame.
It's said that out of 7 diamonds across the world, 5 are cut and polished in India.
Don't forget, US is the largest consumer of, polished diamonds and the diamond jewelry. And that has taken a big beating for multiple reasons, but largely because of the consumer spending going down on these items. And that's essentially what has hit the diamond industry.
We are at a brim where you see not just one, but multiple very strong global brands coming out of India. And we will make a global mark, and I'm convinced about that.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
That's what we are discussing. Is this brand Bengaluru? You know why the question? Look at that differently abled woman. How helpless is she? After 3 days of continuous rain that has disrupted normal life in Bengaluru, heavy overnight downpours in the city caused waterlogging in several low-lying areas. The Indian Meteorological Department has also forecasted more showers for Tuesday. On Monday night, at least 20 flights were delayed and several were diverted due to the severe weather. Heavy rain and thunderstorms primarily impacted northern parts of the city. Heavy stagnation of water at crucial junctions of the city like the Silk Board made going from one place to another nearly impossible for commuters. The heavy rain slashed parts of city like Yelahanka and other areas such as Sahakar Nagar. Social media was actually flooded with videos and posts of flooded roads and underpasses. But you know what? You see this every year. Please don't go away. Don't get up and go away. Because I'm going to talk about the pothole menace which is back again in Bengaluru like a perennial occurrence year after year. In the latest, in a video that went viral on social media, a specially abled woman on your screens right now, sitting on a waterlogged street with a few people helping her get out of a pothole, was a sight that no one should ever wish upon anyone. Now, once she stood up, a passerby actually handed over a pair of crutches to her, and she then slowly made her way towards her scooter, which was parked. Look at that. And it is parked in the middle of a flooded street. Is this brand Bengaluru? Is this what we pay for? Is this what we deserve? Look at the helplessness.
ಯಾವ ಜಾಗ ಅಣ್ಣ ಯಾವ ನೋಡಿ ಪಾಪ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಓಡಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗೆ ದುಡಿಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಯಾರ ಮೊಬೈಲಿನೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ
There was a flurry of comments on the video that blamed the authorities for the mess. The Janata Dal secular posted as follows, said, "Welcome to brand Bengaluru, where a physically challenged woman falling into a pothole during heavy rains is just another day in paradise." While Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar keep patting themselves on the back for their visionary governance, the city's crumbling infrastructure is doing all the taking. BBMP's mastery in turning roads into death traps is unmatched. Bravo on setting new standards of neglect and irresponsibility. B.Y. Vijendra, who is the state unit president of the Bharatiya Janata Party, also trained his guns on the ruling dispensation and said amongst other things as follows, "Thank you DCM D.K. Shivakumar for painting a visionary picture of Bengaluru, a dreamland with sky-high decks and underground wonders. It was almost like stepping into Alice in Wonderland. Yet, nature had a different script in mind. Just one generous downpour was enough to shatter those glossy dreams. On paper, the tallest towers and underground tunnels certainly sound ambitious, but the real question remains, does your government have any concrete plans to address the day-to-day struggles of those living on the ground?" But I'll tell you what, today it is not the question of what political parties are saying to each other. It is about that specially abled woman and the sight of her sitting in rain-filled roads. Is this D.K. Shivakumar's idea of brand Bengaluru? Is this the IT hub called the Indian Silicon Valley? Let's, kind of hang our heads in shame. Let me welcome Katyayani Chamaraj, Executive Trustee, Civic Bengaluru, who is joining us, and also Sandeep Aniruddhan, Convener, Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru. Katyayani and Sandeep, a very, very warm welcome to both of you. Katyayani, correct me if I am wrong. Isn't it true that you also were injured at one time? Was it the year 2019, Katyayani, when you went with all the papers and all the documents? I remember, or maybe I am making a mistake, Katyayani. Correct me if I am wrong.
Absolutely. I also did fall into a ditch in the a hole in the pavement because the slabs were not put properly. And in fact, as a ward committee member, I had brought the notice of the notice of the councillor the bad state of that pavement. And I had even told them at the ward committee meeting that nothing has been done about it. And they had promised that that whole road is going to be made into Tenkashore Road. I should just wait for that. So I said, are people going to wait until they break their bones to repair that pavement? And so it was so ironical that I had brought it to the attention of the councillor and the entire ward committee, and they had done nothing about it. And I had to stay at home with bed rest for 6 weeks. And till today, I have not received any compensation from the zonal commissioner for that. Though I did complain to him and said I had to spend so much money to get my leg repaired. And till today, I have not heard of any compensation for myself. And as you say, this is shocking that brand Bengaluru supposedly was prepared. The whole action plan was prepared through very many public consultations, but what we find is that ad hoc decisions are being taken without any reference to what the people really wanted.
Exactly.
And people want very basic needs to be set right. And all we are talking about is big tunnel roads and skywalks.
Sky deck, I don't know, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Skydeck, all at a cost
You
of
know,
more than...
right, yeah. Sandeep, you know,
Yes.
this sight of this woman, Sandeep Aniruddhan, of this woman sitting there in the middle of water-filled road, I can't get over it because, you know, this is just shame. I mean, I will never pity her. She's brave. She's a hero for me. She got up, someone gave her crutches and she walked towards her scooter. But it's a shame for all of us that this is how, if you're specially able, first of all, potholes are killer traps for people who are like, remember, you know, young people, and but a specially able person who's more special than you and I has to face this. She must be paying her taxes, road tax on time. This is what happens. I mean, come on, Sandeep Aniruddhan. It's all very well for Mr. D.K. Shivakumar to appear in a cavalier style and say, oh, get the work done, BBMP, or I will sack all of you, then and come and say, good job done. Is this the job they do?
Sudha, we have to hang our heads in shame, all of Bengaluru. And unfortunately, it's not a problem of our making. It is purely a making of the political class, because the political class are not paying attention to what is going wrong. It is not building capacity for planning the city. It is not building capacity for governance. It's not rectifying any of the mistakes that we have made in the last many decades. It just refuses to see reason. It refuses to implement the 74th Amendment, which is why the city is such a mess. It's experiencing unplanned development, has extremely poor governance, because the state doesn't want to let go. It doesn't want to devolve. It doesn't want to decentralize. And to top it, most of the politicians are corrupt. They are part of the real estate mafia, which is the reason the government doesn't do this in the first place. There is a live case right now in Whitefield where a minister, none less than the energy minister of Karnataka, KJ George, his company is encroached and blocked the Rajkalve just last month. We complained to the government, to the revenue minister also, that this is going to cause a flood. It caused a flood and it came in the newspapers and media, and yet they have not corrected it. That encroachment is still going on, and both upstream and downstream areas of Whitefield are
top class at one. Now I think people are only voting for what is coming to them. Sorry to say, become like the rest of the country, because in Bengaluru, I've seen, you know, many years ago, people walking and, you know, saying that no, you will not try and fell trees here, etc. But today, look at this woman on the screen. If this is what Bengaluru has become, and, you know, I do pothole stories almost twice or thrice every year, then I think that, you know, there is no hope, Katyayani Chamaraj. And BBMP elections have not happened. Even if they happen, I think this trend will carry on, Katyayani.
Yeah, the whole problem, like Sandeep said, is that they have taken away the power of the local government, and practically the second tier of government, the state government, is handling the entire Bangalore infrastructure. And it is totally in violation of the constitution, which says the local government has to be empowered to do all these local jobs. It's none of the business of the second tier of government or the MLAs to be doing this kind of local governance. And because we have no councillor, and as you mentioned,
all right, I think we've lost connection. Yeah, she's back. Katyayani, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Katyayani, I also read somewhere where, you know, a lot of people who had got injured, or, you know, because of falling into potholes or because of inundated roads, they said that they took all the documents, everything, but nothing came of it. Some people suggest that the particular engineer who is responsible for that stretch, he should be punished. What do you think, Katyayani Chamaraj? Where does one go if I have to go and if I have to go and complain?
Absolutely. You know, the problem is that the officials are totally unaccountable, and the means of holding them accountable has been made dysfunctional. We are supposed to have had area sabhas where every voter can plan for his area and say what is wrong with his area, where does the asphalting need to be done, where are the potholes, and that all that has to be collated at the ward committee level, and the ward committee decision should be upheld. by the zonal council and the BBMP, and the citizen's voice has to be respected for what he wants done in his area. And now, just as Sandeep said, the MLAs are the ones who are encroaching.
Right.
And, totally destroying the existing infrastructure as well.
Yeah, but you know,
on the Raja
at least,
and the
yeah,
officials are
Katyayani,
in league with
you
them.
say that they should pay, you know, they should adhere to what people want. People certainly don't want what you're seeing on your screen, both sides. Water gushing into your home, destroying your vehicles, or that woman who's there, some good people came and helped her out. But why should she be helped? I mean, she's got a scooter. I'm sure she's paying all the taxes, the road tax, which is very high in Bengaluru, by the way. She's paying all the taxes. Look at those school kids who are wading through, you know, a flooded road. And on the other hand, the specially abled woman who's now being helped by some of the good Samaritans who arrived to help her. Sandeep Aniruddhan, you know what will happen, Sandeep? Tomorrow, the ruling dispensation, D.K. Shivakumar or others, they will say, oh, we took cognizance, we went to her house, we've spoken to her, all is well, let's move on. I mean, that's the attitude, isn't it?
Sudha, yes, the political class seem very disconnected with what the reality is and what is necessary. Even when they look at, like today he's talking about Dubai, saying Dubai floods, so what, we'll also flood. I mean, that if that's your attitude, you're not going to solve any problem. He wanted to make Bengaluru like Singapore, but he's trying to copy the mistakes of Singapore. Singapore stopped constructing tunnel projects because they felt it is wrong and they are moving to mass rapid transit. Instead of seeing where they're headed, he's stuck in its past. So these politicians seem completely disconnected. They have very bad advisors. They don't meet people. Why can't he set up the Metropolitan Planning Committee, which is prescribed under the Constitution, and build capacity by employing urban planners? We produce thousands of urban planners in our country. Why don't we use it?
There is a long list of people who have died, because of this pothole. It's a crime. If I lose someone I love, my family or my friend, because we know about that 21-year-old girl who was working for a tech company, she came from Hyderabad, she drowned in the underpass. Then a man who was used to sell imitation jewelry on the streets, he disappeared. It's a killer pothole. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine your loved ones drives through and then just disappears, flows with the water. It's a crime. Who will take the onus, Sandeep? Who will take the onus, Sandeep Aniruddhan?
So, Sudha, the big problem is the local laws do not have punishments for officials, for dereliction of duty, for not doing their job properly. The BBMP has no punishment for any of them. In fact, the High Court, there was a PIL which asked the BBMP to prescribe a set of punishments for all kinds of dereliction, lack of following rules, doing improper work. But the BBMP still doesn't have a list of punishments for these officials. So officials literally go scot-free even if people end up dead or if the people end up injured. There are no punishments. Nobody is held responsible. Secondly, there's no transparency. How do you know who's responsible for a road? Is there a board over there? Does it say which contract it was? Who was the contractor? How long is the warranty period? Why can't you have that on every road? Then we will know exactly who built the road, who's in charge of maintenance.
Yeah.
Have a warranty.
Then you can punish also. No, you can go and complain about him, not to him.
Correct.
Yeah, but there is no
these reforms. They're long overdue. If you go to other countries like Singapore, you have these boards at every street corner. You know what is the road project number, name, who are the contractors, what is the warranty period. These are there at every street corner. Why can't we have that sort of transparency? We are supposed to be the IT capital of God knows where. We are only an IT slum now. Nothing's. No way are we an IT capital or a.
Absolutely, and before patting ourselves on our backs to say this is the Silicon Valley, that sight of a differently abled woman not being able to walk on the streets of Bengaluru and sitting down in the flooded road and then getting up and walking gingerly on her crutches is a sight none of us will forget. But then for the politicians, it's just another day. Like I said, they will go to her perhaps to her residence tomorrow, give her something, photo op, one bite, story over. Katyayani Chamraj, thank you very much. I know I'm sounding hopeless, but that is how it seems like for a city which was known as a city, as a haven for those who've retired. Sandeep Anirudhan, thank you very much for joining us on this debate. And never forget, ladies and gentlemen, that sight of a differently abled woman who is sitting down helplessly on the flooded streets of Bengaluru. Coming up next, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy mulls a rehab plan for oustees due to Musi River rejuvenation project. That's good news. Revanth Reddy government is mulling over giving 2 BHK flats to Musi oustees. Let me tell you what the story is. Telangana government is considering mulling over providing house sites to families displaced by the Musi River rejuvenation project. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy is expected to make a decision soon with plans to offer both 2 BHK houses and plots of land near the outer ring road, which is also known as ORR, to affected families including squatters and tenants. The project could impact around 12,000 to 13,000 families, and officials estimate about 500 acres will be required. Revenue and Housing Minister Revanth Reddy, currently on a study tour in Seoul, emphasized that the government aims to offer generous rehab packages without forcibly acquiring land, unlike previous administrations. He added that the Congress government is committed to delivering on the long discussed rejuvenation of Musi River. According to Srinivas, the government plans to convince people and does not want to take land forcibly like the previous, he says, BRS government did. He said Revanth Reddy is ready to spend any amount for better rehabilitation packages for the poor. He pointed out how the Congress government had acquired land for railways in Khambam district when Jalagam Vengal Rao was the chief minister, by convincing and offering a better package. So this is great news, I think, for all the people. As of now, it's on paper, but then the Revanth Reddy government is mulling over it itself will put a smile on the faces of those who will be rehabilitated after the Musi rejuvenation project. And as promised, I leave you with some of the other top stories from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Namaskaram.
Who am I?
Nobody can crack that mystery.
There is a certain expectation of me.
That's the only contradiction.
Life itself is stranger than fiction.